are going to be jumping into our next best of 3 here, a little bit before 15 minutes break, but there you go, as we will have WhiteRa versus Monster to kick things off here. Todd, what can you tell us about these players?
Well, WhiteRa, I don't think I need to introduce him. Everybody knows. True. The Grandpa Toss. And Monster, he used to be a pretty cheesy player. A lot of one base all in with SCVs and Ravens, tanks, you name it. But now I think he's kind of switched it up, and he can play macro as well. So it will be interesting to see like how he has changed his styles overall.
Question: wasn't Monster Protoss recently? Has he changed recently, or?
I think you're thinking about another monster, maybe. Actually, no. The Protoss monster plays Zerg.
Wait a minute.
I thought maybe you were mistaking for him for the Korean Protoss.
No. I'm pretty sure that during the France Nationals, I'm actually going to look this up. The WCS France Nationals, that Monster played Protoss.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see his games at the WCS, but he's always been Terran as far as I can remember.
Okay, because I remember casting him, and anyway. So let's do player introductions to kick things off though. Monster spawning as our blue Terran up in the top right-hand corner here of Daybreak, and down to the bottom left-hand corner, you all know him. He's Mr. Grandpa Toss, aka a WhiteRa, going to be spawning as our red Protoss. So Daybreak, in terms of this matchup, how do you feel about it? Is it your cup of tea, or?
Yeah, it used to be a pretty good map for Protoss against Terran. Now it's just like pretty much 50-50, because the Terrans, they figured out a lot of stuff, like how to kite really well, builds, like making safe expansion into a safe third command center. So it makes it that much harder to play against Terran. But yeah, like I said, Monster, he likes to one base a lot. I don't think that on this map it's that good. So I'm very curious as to what he will do this game. Yeah. He hasn't taken a gas, so it might just be a one Rax expand.
Right here. And I've actually just realized I was on about Master, not Monster. So that was a bit silly, but whatever.
Master is actually quite good.
Yeah, I was really impressed by him at the France Nationals, because again, that's why he stuck out so much to me, and that's why I had him in my mind, and I got it mixed up between Master and Monster. So I apologize for that, but anyway, regardless, we have WhiteRa for now going Nexus first, Gateway on the way, and meanwhile the probe was indeed killed off in his opponent's base for the scouting purposes. But did he see that there was the lack of gas? I think he did, yes? Yeah.
Yes. So. Well, he saw the Nexus first. I mean, he knows what's following. A gas into Zealot, Stalker, probably 2 more guys added. He's probably gonna try to scout for a third Nexus, because it's very common for Protoss to make a third Nexus in this situation as well. So he should keep his SCV on the upper left side of the map to try and scout for that later on.
Yeah, that's very, very important, just to make sure that you don't end up falling behind in some kind of weird macro situation where you just didn't know your opponent had certain amounts of economy. So Monster here, going for his own third command center though. That's also pretty common, playing very greedy. But there's not, I mean, unless the Protoss is going to go kind of balls to the wall aggression, is there really much of a way that a Protoss can break him if there's some bunkers down at the front?
If he goes for 5 gates and gets a couple sentries, yeah, there is a way, especially since there is no ramp, like where the bunkers are, you know, they are not up a ramp. It will be very easy to see what's behind them, and if you can break him, and if you should go, and how you should force heal as well. So behind that, 2 more Raxes being added. Actually, you know, this is very standard to make the third command center like this against the Nexus first. A lot of Terrans do that. They either do that or they choose to put a lot of pressure, but playing standard probably wouldn't be as good. Maybe if you do 3 racks into quick medivacs into 5 racks and put a lot of pressure with your medivacs, it could be okay. You can punish a lot of greedy builds. But playing like really standard, other than that, like I guess getting medivacs, not putting much pressure on, and then getting a late third command center. If the Protoss capitalize on his chrono boost and get a lot of probes out and chrono boost some upgrades, then you will be behind as a Terran.
Okay, so And right now, what does WhiteRa have going on? He's just getting his warp gate technique out. He's not added on too many gateways here, just 2. And it looks like his probe's actually moving out to go for another Nexus here. So he is also playing very, very greedy. Monster does get a good scout off his opponent's main, though. Sees that there's only 2 gateways down. So for now, he pretty much sees... Did he see all the extremities of his opponent's natural as well?
No, he didn't see if there was gases at the expansion.
Right.
So now there could be hidden buildings somewhere.
Yeah.
But I think maybe he saw the probe count. Yeah, I think he saw the probe count kind of. So he should know that WhiteRa doesn't have this much, and he should be safe for a while. Monster, that is. And look at the second command center in the main. The gas harvesters are like closer to it somehow.
That's quite cute. One of them is going to the main one. 2 of them are going to the other one, and that's interesting because if you actually just set them on that specific rally point, they never like deviate from it unless it's something really crazy. Whoa! One of those stalkers getting way too overzealous there. We'll be able to chase down the rest of these Marines, but losing that stalker shouldn't have really happened too quickly there. And right now, Monster continuing to hold the way. This will be able to get that zealot and even keep the rest of his Marines alive against that whilst getting the zealot. But there, cheeky little poke there by WhiteRa, picking off one of the Marines.
And look at this. This is 8 minutes, and the 3rd Nexus is going to finish. He's going to have a lot of chrono boost at his disposal. He should chrono boost a lot of probes through 9 minutes, I guess. Maybe add 8 gates or 7 total. It's going to be on 6 so far. I think he should add at least 1 or 2 more. And he's getting charge and the +1 attack upgrade. So very nice build here by WhiteRa.
Yeah, this kind of gets scary for Monster, I think, because again, as you rightly pointed out, he needs to know that this 3rd base is down. Because this is pretty early for a Protoss. So with all of this gateway production that he's going to have, as well as Double Forge and the charge coming out, I've seen Protoss in this situation just fly ridiculously ahead in terms of macro, to the point where they get this super heavy Zealot army early on, and there's not a whole lot Terran can do about it. I mean, have you been in this situation before, and how do you feel like going into this kind of spot, if so?
Well, as a Protoss right now, I really like the position of WhiteRa. I think I will make a lot of gates, maybe go up to 10 or 12 gates, probably get Templars, and then try to do a big attack with my army on the 3rd base of the Terran, and at the same time probably drop like 2 Templars, 2 Zealots in the main, and then warp like 12 Zealots there. And then what can a Terran do really? We know that WhiteRa really likes to play with War Prisms, so I really hope this game we're going to see it, because if you just mass gate units, army, and then you try to attack somewhere, it's very hard to engage. The Terran can really have a good concave, and if he has ghosts, it's pretty much impossible to have a good engage ever. Yeah. So I think that's what WhiteRa should go for here, and if he has seen MC's replays or recent games, MC has been doing this build quite a lot, so maybe he will do that.
I really like... Sorry, my apologies.
Go ahead.
I really like what WhiteRa is doing with the pylons on the extremity of the map as well, just to say spot medevacs if those would come along. And Monster is moving out into the middle of the map here. We'll take one of these pylons out, but he has great coverage on the bottom of the map, not only to spot whether some kind of aggression was coming, but also to, just go for the reinforcement as well. So WhiteRa here looking to gear things up for this aggression. He does have that +1 armor and +1 weapons finished up, and right now, I mean, Monsters are going to finish up in just a little bit, but this is looking in a really weird spot because his entire army is way out of position. And
WhiteRa is charging forward right now, sniping the first bunker. He's going to get the second one. I'm surprised Monster doesn't try to transfer the SCVs in his main. And WhiteRa is going up the ramp now, but nice lift on that supply depot. Monster is counter-attacking right now, steaming all of his units. He only has too many backs around. He's going to be killing this Nexus and probably a lot of those probes.
Oh god, yeah, the probes trying to transfer up to the 3rd. A lot of them will end up getting away, but the Nexus ends up falling. Meanwhile, what else is going on at the main here of the Terran? It looks like he's just trying to barrel his way in, but still Monster doing a lot of damage in the main of WhiteRa right now, taking out that Robo Bay, and a few Zealots even chasing the SCVs from the 3rd. But the entire army of WhiteRa got cleaned up at the front at the choke of Monster. There you go, GG.
This kind of base raid is always bad for Protoss, because Terran can just salvage the situation a lot better. They have SCVs to fight with and defend in their main. Yeah. Even if you have a better army, they can just fly away pretty much, land their command center in a different place. They still fly away with their production facilities as well. And what it did by WhiteRa to attack like this, it ensured that Monster was going to kill all of those units at the expansion, maybe at least one of the expansion for sure, because he had just so much bio. You know how many gate units you need to hold this? Like you need an entire new army, and he had already sent his army to Monster's base. So WhiteRa here getting a little bit overly ambitious with this attack.
I have to ask, I mean, from that, I mean, the pylons were down in places that, again, would have been quite evident. I mean, and Monster showed his entire army killing that pylon in the middle of the map, whilst WhiteRa was still poising in the middle of the map as well. Do you feel that WhiteRa from there, after seeing his opponent's army's positioning, he should have gone back, knowing that a base trade would have been kind of dodgy against a Terran? Or, I mean, what do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I think he should have gone back, definitely play more defensive. He had a much quicker third. He was ahead on upgrades. Like Monster just finished 1-0, or maybe I think it was just 1-0. And WhiteRa was already on his way to 2-2, so there is no reason to attack at this point, especially when the Terran just got medivacs. But I think he was just trying to play around with the Terran, like attack his expansion, make the Terran come back there to defend so he can buy himself more time, and just force field and then run away. But it kind of backfired in the end. It was a complete misread by him, and Monster, with the great read on the situation, just counter-attacking and defending really well at home with those STVs. We saw he was using hold position for the Zealots not to get in and kill everything.
Yeah, and again, like, it's not as if Monster, because I can imagine that people out there watching this are like, wow, well, who's this Monster guy? It's not like he's a complete unknown. You said he was an ex-Warcraft 3 professional. He's Grandmasters in StarCraft right now, so he's pretty impressive. And from that game, judging by his decision-making, realizing where his opponent was and what he was doing, I think really stellar game there by Monster, taking advantage of his opponent.
Yes. I think Monster won 2-0.
Really? Oh, is it already done? No, really?
Yeah, Monster says he won the first game on Antigua.